Hello students, today I am going to give a lecture on unit number 6, work, power, energy and batteries. Now this is the syllabus. It has two parts. Part A, effect of temperature on resistance, resistance temperature coefficient, insulation resistance, conversion of energy from one form to another in electrical, mechanical and thermal systems. Part B, batteries, different types of batteries, lead acid and lithium ion, construction, working principle, applications, ratings, charging and discharging, concept of depth of charging, maintenance of batteries, series parallel connection of batteries. In today's lecture I am going to cover effect of temperature on resistance, resistance temperature coefficient RTC and insulation resistance. So we'll start with the effect of temperature on the resistance. So here is the graph between the resistance versus temperature for pure metals like copper or silver. So from the graph, if we increases the temperature, the resistance of the pure metal increases. Now what is the reason? At low temperature, the ions of the metals are almost stationary. As temperature increases, ions acquires energy and starts oscillating. So vibrating ions causes obstruction to the flow of electrons, and hence as resistance increases with increase in the temperature. So in the graph, if you see, this is the graph for the copper. In case of copper, as we increases the temperature, there is an increase in the resistance, and this resistance increases uniformly between 0 to 100 degree centigrade. At 0 degree centigrade, the value of resistance of the copper is 100 ohm, and at minus 234.5 degree centigrade, the value of resistance is 0. So remember, in case of pure metals, as we increases temperature, resistance also get increase. Now consider the case of insulators, carbon and electrolyte. So in case of insulators, if you see the graph, as we increases the temperature, resistance decreases. Now what is the reason? In case of insulators, at the normal temperature, the insulator is having very high resistance. There is no conduction at the normal temperature. As the temperature increases, some electrons acquire energy and become free for the conduction. Hence, conductivity of insulator increases, which reduces resistance, and hence resistance of insulator decreases with increase in the temperature. And this is the nature of the graph. Now consider the case of alloys. In alloys, two types of alloy, general alloys and special alloys. Alloy means it is a combination of metals. So for the general alloys, as we increases the temperature, the change in the resistance is very small. If you see the graph, that means the resistance of alloy increases as the temperature increases, but rate of increase is not significant. Now in case of special alloys like Eureka, manganese, as we increases the temperature, there is no change in the resistance. Hence, these alloys are used for making resistance boxes. So in case of alloy, as we increases the temperature, there is a very small change in the resistance, that is negligible change in the resistance. Now consider the exam material, semiconductor. It acts as an insulator as well as conductor. So at the absolute temperature, if you see the graph here, at the absolute temperature, it acts as an insulator. The resistance of the semiconductor is very high. So as we increases the temperature, it starts decreasing. So in case of semiconductor also, as we increases the temperature, there is a decrease in the resistance. Example of semiconductors are silicon and germanium. Now in this graph, the graphs of all the materials are included. Now the next concept is RTC, that is resistance temperature coefficient, or it is also known as temperature coefficient of resistance. So for understanding of RTC, here I am considering a graph between resistance and temperature. Now here I am considering the initial condition as 0 degree centigrade. So at 0 degree centigrade, this is the case of metal. So for 0 degree centigrade, its value of resistance is R0. After T degree centigrade, the resistance becomes RT because it is a conductor. Okay, so that means there is a change in the resistance from R0 to RT. Now this change we are expressing as, this change is depends upon, that is RT minus R0 is depends on directly proportional to initial resistance. It is also directly proportional to rise in temperature or change in temperature, and it is also depends upon the nature of the material of the conductor. So RT minus R0 is directly proportional to R0 into change in temperature, that is T minus 0. So RT minus R0 is equal to, now in this case the proportionality constant is alpha, that is resistance temperature coefficient. So in this case alpha is alpha 0 into R0 T. So what is alpha 0 in this case? Alpha 0 is a resistance temperature coefficient. It is also known as temperature coefficient of resistance. You can use both way. So alpha 0, what is the definition of alpha 0 then? Alpha 0 is the ratio of change in resistance, that is RT minus R0, per ohm initial resistance, that is R0, per degree change in temperature. So in this case T minus 0, hence it is T. So what is alpha 0? Alpha 0 is RT minus R0 upon R0 T, and its unit is per degree centigrade. So definition is, it is the change in resistance per ohm initial resistance or original resistance per degree centigrade change in temperature. Okay, now I am rearranging this equation, so I can find out the value of resistance at any temperature if I know the initial resistance and RTC at 0 degree centigrade. So the formula is RT is equal to R0 into 1 plus alpha 0 T. T is any temperature, alpha 0 is RTC at 0 degree centigrade, and R0 is the resistance at 0 degree centigrade, and RT is resistance at T degree centigrade. Now for copper, if I put T is equal to minus 234.5 degrees centigrade, then the value of alpha 0 is 0.0042 per degree centigrade. Now in this PPT, some materials and their RTCs at 0 degree centigrade are given. Now the previous case was when the temperature is 0 degree centigrade. But if the temperature is other than 0 degree centigrade, then what is alpha? So here I am considering the case in which the initial temperature is T1, and at that temperature the value of resistance is R1. As the conductor, the material is conductor, so as we increases the temperature, there is an increase in the resistance. So after T2 degree centigrade, the new value of resistance is R2. Okay, so in this particular case we have to find out the value of alpha 1. Now what is alpha 1? Alpha 1 is RTC at T1 degree centigrade. Okay, here I am already rearranging the terms, and I have written here R2. But what is alpha 1 in this case? Alpha 1 is change in the resistance तो change in resistance is R2 minus R1. So alpha 1 is equal to R2 minus R1 upon initial resistance, that is R1, into change in temperature, that is T2 minus T1. So what is alpha 1? Alpha 1 is equal to R2 minus R1 upon R1 into T2 minus T1. And if I rearrange that equation, then R2 is equal to R1 into 1 plus alpha 1 T2 minus T1. So for remembering this formula, I am giving a trick, that is R final is equal to R initial into 1 plus alpha initial T final minus T initial, that is T2 minus T1. Okay, so if the case is heating process, then that time R final is R2 and R initial is R1. Suppose if the case is cooling process, that means if the conductor is cooling from T2 to T1, then the final is R1 and initial is R2. So remember this formula, and depending upon the cooling and heating process, you use this formula. Now effect of temperature on the resistance temperature coefficient, or it depends on effect of temperature on RTC. So in the formula, alpha is directly proportional to T. The value of alpha is constant. It will vary with the temperature. It is not constant, it is not constant, but it will vary with the temperature. So as temperature increases, the value of RTC decreases. Okay. Now in this particular case, sometimes the question is, write the effect of temperature on RTC, or prove that alpha 2 is equal to alpha 1 upon 1 plus alpha 1 T2 minus T1. So for this derivation, what we have to do, we have to just consider the case of the conductor. And in this particular case, we have to consider the conductor whose initial temperature is T1, whose RTC at T1 degree centigrade is alpha 1, and its resistance at RTC is R1. Then after heating up to T2 degree centigrade, the value of RTC is alpha 2 and the value of resistance at T2 is R2. Now I am using this relation, that is R final is equal to R initial into 1 plus alpha initial T2 minus T1. My process is heating process. So what is final resistance? R2. R2 is equal to R1 into 1 plus alpha 1 T2 minus T1. Now suppose the specimen is cooled to temperature T1. Then in the diagram, this operating point shift to A. Okay, that is the cooling process. So for cooling process, R2 is the initial resistance and R1 is the final resistance. So R1 is equal to R2 into 1 plus alpha 2 T1 minus T2. After solving these two equations by taking the ratio R1 by R2 and solving this equation, we get the value of alpha 2 as alpha 1 upon 1 plus alpha 1 T2 minus T1. If I put the initial condition as 0 degree centigrade, then my alpha T is equal to alpha 0 upon 1 plus alpha 0 T. That means if the RTC at 0 degree centigrade is known, then I can find out RTC at any temperature. That is alpha T is equal to alpha 0 upon 1 plus alpha 0 T. And if the temperature is other than 0 degree centigrade, then alpha 2 is equal to alpha 1 upon 1 plus alpha 1 T2 minus T1. Now whatever I have completed, just I am summarizing here: the material, then temperature, resistance and RTC. Now if the material is metal, increase in the temperature, increase in the resistance, and hence it has positive RTC. For insulator, carbon and electrolyte, increase in temperature, decrease in resistance, hence it has negative RTC. For alloy, increase in temperature, not significant change in resistance, so RTC is almost 0. For semiconductor, increase in temperature, decrease in the resistance, and hence RTC is negative. Now these are the list of the formulas for solving the problems. Alpha 0 is RT minus R0 upon R0T when the initial temperature is 0 degree centigrade. That time RT is also R0 into 1 plus alpha 0 T. Either two different temperatures other than 0 degree centigrade is given, then R2 is R1 into 1 plus alpha 1 T2 minus T1. Then if we know RTC at 0 degree centigrade, then alpha, that is RTC at T degree centigrade, is alpha 0 upon 1 plus alpha 0 T. From this equation we can find out alpha 0 also, that is alpha 0 is equal to alpha T upon 1 minus alpha T into T. Alpha 2 is equal to, when two different temperatures are given, then alpha 2 is equal to alpha 1 upon 1 plus alpha 1 T2 minus T1. Here the theoretical part is completed. So for theoretical part, these are the most likely asked questions. So first question is, with a neat sketch and example, explain the effect of temperature on resistance of metal, insulator, semiconductor, alloys and special alloys. So in this question you have to draw the graphs for each material, then give the example of each material, and then write why there is an increase in the resistance or decrease in the resistance. Then in the second question you have to write the definition, resistance, temperature, coefficient, and state the factors on which RTC depends. So RTC depends upon type of material, and it is also depends upon the temperature. RTC is inversely proportional to temperature. Then with the usual notation, derive alpha 2 is equal to alpha 1 upon 1 plus alpha 1 T2 minus T1. Now we will solve some numericals. So consider the example. At 0 degree centigrade, a specimen of copper wire has its resistance equal to 4 milliohm and its temperature coefficient of resistance is equal to 1 upon 234.5 per degree centigrade. Find the values of its resistance and temperature coefficient of resistance at 70 degree centigrade. So in this example, the initial temperature is given at 0 degree centigrade, and at that 0 degree centigrade the initial value of resistance is given R0, which is equal to 4 milliohm. And the RTC at 0 degree centigrade is also given 1 upon 234.5 degrees centigrade. Now what is the question? We have to find out the resistance at 70 degree centigrade and RTC at 70 degree centigrade. So the formula is alpha T is equal to alpha 0 upon 1 plus alpha 0 T, and in this case T is equal to 70 degree centigrade. Similarly we can find out RT, that is equal to R0 into 1 plus alpha 0 T. So T is 70 degree centigrade. Now the second type, determine the current flowing at the instant of switching a 100 watt lamp on 230 volt supply. The ambient temperature is 25 degree centigrade. The filament temperature is 2000 degree centigrade and the resistance temperature coefficient is 0.005 per degree centigrade at 0 degree centigrade. Now at the time of switching, determine the current flowing at the instant of switching. At the instant of switching means at the room temperature. So at the room temperature, before switching the lamp, the temperature of the coil is room temperature, that is 25 degree centigrade. That time the current flowing is I25. After switching on, the temperature becomes 2000 degree centigrade. So T2 is equal to 2000 degree centigrade. Then the power rating of the bulb is given, P is equal to 100 watt, and supply voltage is given as 230 volt. Now by using this power rating, we have to find out R2. R2 is what? R2 is the resistance of filament in the on condition. That is, you can say it is a hot resistance. So the formula of power is V square upon R. So what is R2? R2 is equal to V square upon P. So the value of R2 we have calculated here. Now our formula for finding R1 is R2 is equal to R1 into 1 plus alpha 1 T2 minus T1. So we required alpha 1. Alpha 0 is given in the numerical. So find out alpha 1 is equal to alpha 0 upon 1 plus alpha 0 into T1. T1 is 25 degree centigrade. So after getting the value of alpha 1, put in this equation. So the value of R1 is 54.15 ohm. This value of resistance is before the switching, that is at the room temperature, the resistance of the coil of the lamp. Hence the current is equal to voltage upon resistance. So value of current is 4.25 ampere. This is the current at the time of switching. Now this is one application based problem. In this problem, a DC shunt motor, after running several hours on constant voltage of 400 volt, takes a field current of 1.6 ampere. If temperature rises 40 degrees centigrade, what value of extra resistance is required in field circuit to maintain field current equal to 1.6 ampere? Assume motor started from cold at 20 degrees centigrade and RTC at 20 degrees centigrade is 0.0043 per degree centigrade. Now this is the example of DC shunt motor. Now what is DC shunt motor? Shunt motor, in any motor there are two windings, armature and field. So in DC shunt motor, armature and field windings are connected in parallel. So that is a DC shunt motor. Now in the field is made up of copper. Okay, that means the conductor. So when you run the motor for several hours, the current in the field coil gets reduced, because as the motor is running for several hours, there is a temperature rise and the winding is made up of copper. So there is a, as you increases the temperature, there is an increase in the resistance, and as the resistance increases, the field current gets reduced. So in example, what we have to do, we have to maintain that field current constant. So for maintaining the field current constant, we are giving extra resistance in terms of rheostat, suppose, that should be put in the circuit. So what is the value of that extra resistance? Okay, so first we have to calculate the resistance after several hours. So the value of resistance R2 is equal to V upon the field current, that is equal to 250 ohm. This is the field resistance after 4 hours at T2 degree centigrade. Then alpha 1 is also given, so find out the value of R1. Now this R1 is the field circuit resistance at T1 degree centigrade. That means this resistance is the resistance of the field coil of the motor. Now for keeping field current constant, what we are doing, we are placing one resistance or rheostat in the circuit. So the field current is constant, that is 1.6 is equal to V upon R1 plus the extra resistance. So the value of extra resistance is 36.6894 ohm. Now the next example, a coil has a resistance of 18 ohm when its temperature is 20 degrees centigrade, and 22 ohm when its temperature is 50 degrees centigrade. Find the rise in temperature when the resistance becomes 24 ohm. The room temperature is 18 degree centigrade. Now in this case, the two temperatures 20 degrees centigrade and 50 degrees centigrades are given, and the values of resistances are also given. That is, R20 is equal to 18, R50 is equal to 22. So first what we have to find out, temperature when R becomes 24 ohm. Room temperature is 18 degrees centigrade. Okay, so RT is equal to R0 into 1 plus alpha 0 T. Now in this case we are considering T as a 20. So from this equation we can, this is in the form of 18 is equal to R0 1 plus alpha 0 T. Now alpha 0 is not given in the numerical. Then again we are writing this equation in terms of 50 ohm resistance. So the two equations we are considering, equation number and equation number 2. Now dividing these two equations, we get the value of alpha 0. After getting the value of alpha 0, we have to substitute into RT is equal to R0 into 1 plus alpha 0 T. So the value of R0 is 15.33 ohm. Now if the value of resistance is 24, what is the temperature? So again we are putting the same equation and finding the value of temperature. Now we are getting here the temperature at 24 ohm is 64.44 degrees centigrade. Now for finding the temperature rise, final temperature minus the room temperature. Room temperature is 18, so 64.44 minus 18. Now next example, determine the current flowing as the instant of switching a 60 watt lamp on a 240 volt supply. The ambient temperature is 24 degrees centigrade. Filament temperature is 2000 degree centigrade, and RTC of filament material is 0.005 per degree centigrade at 0 degree centigrade. Now in this case we have to find out, determine the current flowing at the instant of switching. So here also we have to find out the current at the time of switching, means at the room temperature, that is R24 we have to find out. So for this again the power rating is given. So first find out the resistance at 2000 degrees centigrade, that is the hot resistance. Then at 24 degrees centigrade find out the value of alpha. First you find out the alpha 24. So the value of alpha 24 is equal to alpha 0 upon 1 plus alpha 0 T. Then putting the value of alpha 24 in this equation, R2 is equal to R1 plus alpha 1 T2 minus T1. So here we are getting the value of R1 as 97.75. So current at the time of switching is equal to I is equal to V upon R upon 24. Now next example. In this example, a heater coil after running for several hours from switch on draws a current of 2 ampere from constant voltage 400 volt. If the temperature rises 70 degrees centigrade, find the change in voltage required to maintain same current at the time of starting the heater coil. Assume the heater is started at 20 degrees centigrade and RTC for the heater coil at 0 degree centigrade is 0.0038 per degree centigrade. Now the given data, alpha 0 is given, T1 is 20 degrees centigrade, T2. Now temperature rise is given, so T2 is equal to 70 plus 20, which is equal, T2 is 90 degrees centigrade. After running for several hours, the temperature of the heater coil is 90 degrees centigrade. Hence, the resistance at 90 degrees centigrade is equal to 400 upon the current. So, the value is 200 ohm. Then we have to find out the value of alpha 20 by using alpha 0 upon 1 plus alpha 0 t. After getting the value of alpha 20, find out R20, which is the resistance at 20 degree centigrade. Now to maintain the same current, the voltage required will be V2 is equal to 160.37 into 2, 320.74 volt. Now for finding change in the voltage, initial voltage is 400, so 400 minus 320.74, which is equal to 79.26 volt. So change in the voltage is 79.26 volt, that is 400 minus 320.74. Here the theoretical and numerical part of RTC is completed. Now let us start cables. Now these are the different types of cables: single core cable, 2 core cable, 3 core cable. So if you see in the PPT, there is an insulation over the conductor. So insulation is provided to protect us from the shock. So in this particular case, we have to study insulation resistance of a cable. Now what is the insulation resistance? Insulation resistance is defined as the resistance offered by an insulator to the flow of leakage current. Normally, how the current flows in the conductor? It is along the length. But if there is any damage to the insulation, then the current coming out from the insulation. That means the current flowing through the insulator, leakage current is flowing radially outwards. Hence, what is the insulation resistance? It is the resistance offered by the insulator. This insulator word is very important. Insulator to the flow of leakage current. This leakage current is also important. So while writing the definition, we have to mention this insulator and leakage current. Now how to calculate this insulation resistance? Ri, we are using this notation for our insulation resistance. So Ri is equal to V upon IL. V is the voltage measured between conductor and earth, and IL is the leakage current. Unit of insulation resistance is mega ohm, because the ideal value of insulation resistance is infinity. Its value is very high, hence it is in mega ohm. So in the PPT, this is the cross section view of cable. This part is conductor, and over that insulation is provided, and this is the path of the leakage current, which is radially outwards. So leakage current always flows radially outwards. Now we have to find out insulation resistance of a single core cable. Now for that, we are considering a cross sectional view of the cable. Here R1 is the radius of the insulator, and here R2 is outer radius of the insulator. Now for finding insulation resistance, we are dividing this insulation into a small section. We are considering a small section of radius R. Now the leakage current flows radially outwards, so the length in the direction of current of the ring is dr, that is the thickness. Then while the total length of the cable is L meters, then its cross sectional area perpendicular to the flow of current is surface area, that is 2 pi r L. Hence the insulation resistance is equal to rho is the resistivity of insulator, length of the path followed by leakage current upon area of cross section. So in this case, dri is equal to rho into the length of the path followed by the leakage current is dr divided by the area of cross section, that is the cross sectional area perpendicular to the flow of current, that is the surface area 2 pi r L. Now for finding the total insulation resistance, we have to take integration from inner radius to outer radius. That is Ri is equal to R1 to R2 into dr I. After solving this integration, here 1 upon R is log R, but in this case the change is exponential, hence we have to consider log to the base e instead of taking normal log. Okay, so it is better to write ln Ri is equal to rho upon 2 pi L ln R2 by R1. So you write Ri is equal to rho upon 2 pi L ln R2 by R1. That means the insulation resistance of the cable is directly proportional to its length. It is also depends upon its resistivity, that is directly proportional to resistivity. It is also depends upon the temperature, that is if you increases the temperature, resistance of the insulator decreases. Then the moisture content, if the moisture in the insulator increases, there is a decrease in the insulation resistance. Now in case of cable, if two cables are connected in series, then their insulation resistances are in series. When two cables are in series, their conductor resistances are in series and insulation resistances are in parallel. If two cables are connected in parallel, then their conductor resistances are in parallel and insulation resistances are in series. This is the relation. Now consider the example. A single core cable has 1.5 cm diameter of conductor and thickness of insulation is 2.2 cm. Resistivity of insulating material is 9.2 into 10 raised to 12 ohm meter. Determine the insulation resistance per kilometer length of the cable. If the working voltage of conductor is 1100 volt, what is the leakage current per kilometer length of the cable? So in this case, first we have to calculate the insulation resistance. Now the given data, conductor diameter is given 1.5 cm. So convert it into radius, so 0.75 cm. Now find out the radius of the insulator. Now the thickness of the insulation is given. So what is R2? R2 is equal to R1 plus thickness of the insulation. So R1 plus 2.2. Now the formula is Ri is equal to rho upon 2 pi L ln R2 by R1. So calculate the value. Ri is equal to 2 into 10 raised to 9 ohms. Now for finding the leakage current, current is V upon Ri. So 1100 divided by 2 into 10 raised to 9. So the value of current is 0.55 into 10 raised to minus 6. Another example. A single core cable has a conductor of diameter 1.2 cm and its insulation thickness 1.6 cm. The specific resistance means resistivity of a insulating material. 7.5 into 10 raised to 8 mega ohm centimeter. Calculate the insulation resistance per kilometer of cable. If resistance to be increased by 20%, calculate the thickness of additional layer required. So in this case, in the first case we have to calculate insulation resistance per kilometer of the length. Resistivity is given 7.5 into 10 raised to 8 mega ohm centimeter. So convert it into ohm meter. So 1 mega ohm is equal to 10 raised to 6 ohm. So here 7.5 into 10 raised to 8 into 10 raised to 6 ohm centimeter. Now convert this centimeter into meter. So here 7.5 into 10 raised to 14 into 10 raised to minus 2. Then find out the value of R2 as R1 plus thickness of the insulation. So the value of Ri is equal to 1550.9 mega ohm. Now for the second case, if the resistance to be increased by 20%, calculate the thickness of additional layer required. Now if the resistance is increased by 20%, then the new value of resistance is equal to initial resistance, that is 1550.9 plus 20% on the initial resistance. Now due to this additional layer, there is a change in the radius of the insulator. So the new value of radius is R2 dash, and the value of R2 dash is R2 plus this thickness. Okay, so here we have to consider the equation as Ri is equal to rho upon 2 pi L ln R2 by R2 dash upon R1. So the value of R2 dash is 2.8528 centimeter. Now additional thickness is equal to R2 dash minus R1 minus the original thickness. So the value is 0.6528 centimeter. You just verify these values with the help of calculators. Now the next example. The insulation resistance per kilometer of single core cable having conductor diameter of 1.2 centimeter and insulation thickness of 1.5 centimeter is 550 mega ohm. Find the percentage increase in the insulation resistance if the insulation thickness is increased by 50%. So here the diameter of conductor is given, then thickness we have to calculate. So R2 is equal to R1 plus T1, that is 2.1 centimeter. Now T2 is equal to, now here the percentage increase in the insulation resistance if the insulation thickness is increased by 50%. So here we have to calculate T2 is equal to the initial resistance plus the 50% of T1. So here 1.5 into plus 0.5 into 1.5. Now the R2 dash is equal to R1 plus the new value of thickness. Now put Ri is equal to rho upon 2 pi L ln R2 by R1. So here the insulation resistance with additional thickness we have to calculate. So the value of Ri dash is 682 mega ohm. Now for finding the percentage increase in the insulation resistance is equal to, if there is a change in the insulation resistance from 550 to 682, so that increases 682 minus 550 divided by 550 into 100. So answer is 24%. So here RTC and cable part is completed, theory as well as numerical. You go through this video and ask if you have any doubts. Thank you.